moving on now to recently released, just after we talked about it, I think as well, is the... I thought this was a full-on trailer. It's just rewatching it tonight. It's still only a teaser, but it's 1:10 or 1:20 or something, and it shows a lot for Predator Badlands. Now, people so often say you only talk about Predator and Alien, but A, they keep making them, and B, people keep clicking on it. I don't know what to tell you. So Dan Trachtenberg made Prey, which we both loved very much, or liked very much. Maybe love was a bit much, but it was good. Predator Badlands has made me go a little bit. What do you think about Predator Badlands? That's such a the kind of nonplussed like.
It's a robot and a barista predator go
from San Francisco
fight a kaiju with a lightsaber. Did somebody say Yautja? No, because that's stupid.
The director does.
You can hear it in the score. Can you hear it in the score when they're going ooga tooga chomp chomp? And it's like no.
Oh, do you know
he's got a skin fade and a bun or whatever.
The whole
and it's
time
like
I was
all
watching
right.
it, I was like, if they use the term Yautja in this film, Duncan is going to shit. Like,
Out of protest.
Out of protest. Yeah, don't you Bobby Sands it like. It's
You thought Minecraft was bad.
Yes. It's middle-aged men shitting in this one.
And throwing.
And you noticed, of course, that Elle Fanning is a Weyland-Yutani robot.
He is. Yeah, her eyes do the same roly-backy thing.
And there's a Weyland-Yutani vehicle in there as well. So, like... okay. We're going to regroup a little bit. Really like Prey. When I heard the synopsis for this ages ago, I was a bit like, I don't know about this, lads. And now I've watched the trailer, I'm like, I don't know about this, lads. Like, it's
What is the synopsis?
Youngblood predator who's considered a runt of his clan goes to hunt on the most dangerous planet of all to prove himself. A mysterious human woman is there, and they must team up to do a thing. Is how I understand it. And I was like, I don't know, man. You get, because this is the thing. Hate to say it, but Predator is kind of mostly interesting in one way, and it's in a handful of films where it works, where it's hunting a bunch of people or whatever. And I think there's a lot of bum gravy that could be had. I know there's cool comics and stuff, but. And I'm not against like this in principle, but I'm looking at it going like, is there any Predator left in this though?
But this is what happens. We've said this a million times. It's the same thing with Alien. It's like this is what happens when you take internal logic and make it external, and then realise you can't hang an entire series of movies on it. It's like that was there for the sake of that film, and it was not all explained, but it was that you knew there was an internal logic to that character, which is that's the kind of homework that filmmakers should do, so that behaviour can be with purpose on screen, even if it's not all fleshed out and explained. And because the amount of conversations I have with people who aren't necessarily film people but are film watchers, all the way up to people who are actually in the film industry and should know better, say things like, well, of course, like in that one, there was like a tree that looks like the tree from that, so we need to explain how that happens. Like, you don't need to explain it. Stop fucking explaining things. I did hear. Who was I listening to? I was listening to a podcast with someone recently, and they were talking. They filled me with a bit more confidence because they were. His surname's Wenk. That's what I remember. He's the writer of the screenwriter of the Equalizer movies and various other things. Really interesting, and he was totally saying about like, I come up with all this internal logic, but I'm very, very limited. Maybe 10% I sort of show on or talk about in dialogue and stuff on screen. The rest of it's all just so I can say to Denzel Washington or whoever, this is your motivation, like this is what you're doing, but we're not going to say it, no one's going to explain it, because we need that. And this is where it's all got so out of hand, because like the Predator, things like him going like, you're not armed, like it's no sport. It's like, well, that's the point of that was, okay, so that tells us something about him. But it's from a human perspective. It shouldn't be like, and now we're on Yautja Prime, and now we're driving, dust things, and everyone's like, ooga chaga, and it's like, we know what happened. Like, they kill things. I mean, it's really not fucking hard, is it? Like, come on, what else?
That feeling deep inside of me.
Ooga chaga, ooga
Yautja, ooga Yautja.
I mean, it's I like Dan Trachtenberg. I like what he did with Prey. I do think if he can carry over the sort of, he said something with it. Nothing desperately, weighty or portentous, but I think there's. He did say something with it, but with this, it's kind of like we're basically getting rid of all humans. I mean, there is a shot of a sort of army, I guess, of space marines or something. I mean, this is the thing we've said a long time ago about Alien versus Predator. We were like, why didn't you set it in the Alien universe and just chuck Predators into the mix? And it's kind of like, is that what you're doing? It kind of seems that way, But
it's I think it's interesting. It's interesting to me that. So to Angelo's bit, our friend Angelo Canale, who friend of the show. I had a curry with him last year. It was very nice.
We should try and see him. We're in Scotland.
I've already spoken to him about that. That's internal talk. Yes. He was just kind of taking the piss out of how it looks, and I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it look more human. When the predator's called Deck, by the way, not ants. And when the Predator...
I hope he's renamed in New Zealand. This is Dick.
Rack out with your deck out. It looks silly. He looks silly. It does. It just looks silly, and it made me go, it looks silly. And then they've got lightsabers, and I was like, oh, that looks silly. And here's the thing.
He's red this time. So.
Yeah, fuck's sake.
And it's not actually hair, by the way.
Yeah, it's tendrils, right? But it's less developed because he's younger. Whatever.
Fine.
I because Dan Trachtenberg made it and he made Prey. I'm like, sure, but I do kind of feel like you're in a real rock and a hard place with Predator because you can't just keep repeating yourself. But equally, it's really hard to tell stories in that world because it seems like the Predator's the main character. And look, the trailer did not fill me. It did not spark joy, but I want to go into bat for it because I never want the bad Predator thing, right?
No.
And the last one was great. The one before it was really bad, and that should have been a slam dunk as a Shane Black Predator movie, but there was too many hands. I think Fox, whoever's running that side of things now, seem to want to leave that alone and let them get on with it. Look, and getting to what sparked this in my head is like the Alien versus Predator thing, right? I have no problem with that in principle if it's done well. I don't accept that it's not possible to do it well. I think that it's been told a few times, a few different mediums. I think there's a way. What I'm saying is, I think there's an entertaining, fun action romp with a bit of icky sci-fi stuff in there. I think the reason that's been matched up in media, not just because they're both owned by Fox, but it's Ultimate Predator, Ultimate Prey. Makes sense. Set it in the kind of Aliens time frame where there's colonial marines and whatever, which it appears to be because it's the yellow Weyland-Yutani logo. I have no problem with that in principle. I think people love to really kind of bulk at it on the basis that, well, not liking the idea of that makes me very smart. I always felt like that kind of thing. It's like, well, you can't do that because mashups never work. And it's like, I don't know. I think you probably could. I'm not begging for it. I'm not dying to fucking have it, but I do it well. I don't mind, So it's kind of hard to know what to think because definitely the trailer made me go, ugh,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Yeah, it's got a lot of modern sensibilities about it. I don't mind the look of it. It sort of has, but it has a sort of Star Warsy look to it. Recent Star Wars sequel look to it.
It's very green screen, LED volume look.
Yes. And the Predator doesn't look. I mean, I'm sure they've done a lot of augmentation with CG and stuff to make it look more photorealistic, if that's even a thing. But nothing beats that original Sam Winston costume. I mean, nothing has come close to that. It's so ridiculous. The further we get from it, the worse it gets. It's so weird.
When they do good ones, they're imitations of that. I quite liked the one in Prey because it was so different. And it was just doing a different thing. And then it's like, yeah, okay, fine, you're doing something different. But it's when because even the one in Predator 2 just kind of looks ugly by comparison. I don't know quite why that doesn't work. It's kind of brassy, and it's just like, well, that needs more spikes. That's more edgy, and it just feels meh. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as. But again, it's probably overexposed. I mean, I think a lot of the what works about the first one is it's in darkness. They cover it in sort of KY jelly and make it look a bit gloopy, and they're careful with what they show, and it's like that works really well. And I know the one in Prey was a guy in a costume, and they did do some interesting stuff with it. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I just think again we're messing with something that worked really well in context, not only just of the film and the narrative, but in the time it was released as well. It was able to be very. Predator's one of those films that I think the success of it is based largely on the fact that it over delivers. I think it's one of those films where you go from, you're not sure what you're expecting. You're just watching an Arnie action movie, and then suddenly there's an alien in it, and that really only really happens towards the end, because it's kind of like, well, all right, there's this thing that shoots at them sometimes, but it's invisible, so who knows? Because
it could be a guy in a special suit or something.
Again, though, I wish they would have got rid of that, it getting dropped off at the start. But anyway,
which apparently they didn't want. Like, I think John McTiernan didn't want that, and it's like, it's because it's quite subversive, really, for when it came out. Predator. I think that's probably part of its appeal, is that it was a come out of nowhere thing. So it's a new action movie, and watching, oh fuck, wow, it's about what? And I just don't know how much more you can stretch it. I did kind of. It's funny because there's lots of, because I thought Prey was. I said at the time, like, Prey was so brilliantly cinematic, and there's loads of really great setups in it, and just inventive camera work and good visual storytelling and kind of metaphor and stuff, and kind of telling the story through framing and edits as well as dialogue and stuff like that. It was really cool. So it kind of made me think, well, Trachtenberg, cool. There's some shots in this trailer that are super moody and super like that, and there's other bits where it just looks like the new Predator is just completely evenly lit in daylight, standing in a field, and it's like, looks like a man in a costume. A good one, an expensive one, good in the expensive sense, but like just looking at it and going, like, I want to watch it because I want to know what weird shit's in it, and also we'll review it for this, obviously. But like, it's.
I'm a bit like you. I'm on the fence because I kind of go like, how are you going to make a film where the Predator's the protagonist, and we're going to basically what? So Elle Fanning is going to be our eyes and ears, right? And she's going to say, she's almost going to have sort of like Chewbacca conversations with it or something. I don't really know. And how are you going to do that? But Dan Trachtenberg, he did make Prey. I think his idea was to make that film so that you could watch it. It could be done in Comanche, and anyone could watch it who didn't necessarily speak the language, and it had to tell a visual story. So in that sense, I guess we're in as good a hands as we can be to do this particular thing. I'm at a point. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I love Predator. I think it's a great film, and I love the kind of the look of it all, and it's got a great sort of. But come on, like, and it is careful what you wish for, because we're that generation who grew up and went, it'd be so cool to see more Predators. Why didn't they do more? Blah 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 blah.
The monkey paw wish of getting Alien versus Predator. All that's left is a desiccated fist.
You'll be sorry. So it's pretty much I mean, again, though, it's like it's hard to get annoyed because it's just like, well,
indeed.
Other than it's taking budget away from something that could be new and interesting.
No, well, that's just everything there, isn't it? I mean, if I was 29, I'd be in a bedroom in a fucking Cambridgeshire village, like shouting, because that's what apparently was funny 12 years ago. But now I'm kind of like, well, I'll watch it, and if I don't like it, I won't watch it again, and then I'll get on with my life.
That's pretty much how it goes. That goes for you lot too.
That goes for you lot too. I've gone cross-eyed. So it's again, you never want these things to be bad, like, and it's in good hands, and I have a lot of goodwill for Dan Trachtenberg on this, because he did such an excellent job with Prey. I thought it was really great, and you know what, it's good to have that. We talked about the animated thing. It's good to have that, because you could put the samurai in the World War II in that, because if they just released a samurai version of Prey, it's like, well, we just sort of watched this. Yeah. Just putting it in different period and cultural dress isn't automatically interesting. No. So I get that he's gone like, fuck. What I will say, it's a very bold move. It's a big swing for the fence, and I'm always behind that. It's like, why the fuck not? Like, go nuts, mate. Fill your boots. Like
Shane Black did.
Well, yeah, but I don't know, did he though? And also that was so messed with. Like, I'm not saying there's a brilliant version of Prey, but I was about to paraphrase Community, where it's like, well, fucking up Predator is a bit like letting poop spoil. So like have at it. Like, I think that was kind of the thing with Prey. interesting that, because we differ on Predators. I quite like it. You're not mad about it. Like, that does a decent enough job of being an alien planet whilst just being in the real Guatemala or whatever. You know what I mean? And whereas this has a real kind of LED volume look.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's really leaning into kind of being in the world of Alien, and I suppose it looks like the Alien Romulus version of the world of Alien, if that makes sense. So it's kind of got that slightly more modern look to it, but with all the retro shit in it. We'll get to it in a minute. Before we move on, we must, of course, touch on the trophy room.
Oh fuck! I forgot. Oh god, I forgot. Yeah. Oh god. This is what got us here in the first place. Don't do it again, you mad cunts! Like, what are you doing?
I know.
Well, no. I talked over you, please, Duncan. We established.
No. I mean, because I'm trying to remember. There's obviously the Independence Day alien.
The Independence Day alien's head is in the fucking trophy room, which,
fine or whatever.
Fine. I mean, what does that even mean? Because it can't be in the same timeline. Because then everyone in Alien and Predator forgot to talk. Like, it would then means in Predator 2, like, Washington and LA was blown up the year previously. Because it's like, no, it's just like, what? No, and it's just a reference. It's like, why? Independence Day isn't even that good. Like, just because it's owned by Fox, like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was it? There was something else in there. I don't know.
There was another one.
Head or whatever.
Fucking.
Yeah.
I don't even know it's owned by Fox anymore. Like, Jesus Christ.
Hang on, I'll Google it. This is
John McClane's dick, or fucking Jack Bauer's anus, or
Jack Bauer's anus.
Chloe, it's my anus.
They took my anus, Chloe.
The Yautja took my anus, Chloe.
Give me back my anus. Give me back my anus.
Oh dear.
Events occur in real time.
That's why he never shits. You never see him shitting because he can't.
You don't know.
Predators took it.
But as soon as that clock ticks down, he's off for a banging shite.
Rushing off for a foot stamper because he's been holding it.
His stamper.
His stamper. He eats loads of cabbage.
There's like a T-Rex skull.
Oh, fine. That doesn't force me to try and reconcile a timeline. If they're like, no, it's the skull of Rex from the film Toy Story, they'll be like, oh, or it's the one from Jurassic Park, which aren't owned by Fox. Oh no. Oh, actually, to be fair, Toy Story is Disney, so it could be.
There was something else. There's a big sort of human skull with a hole in it, and I can't remember that.
Well, like a
something
Cyclops or something. Or?
No, like a
blast hole.
A blast hole in it.
Land of the Giants.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? Fucking Teddy Ruxpin. Anyway. Is he there? The fucking Fraggles. Is Bert Raccoon and Cyril Sneer.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to put like a Terminator head in.
Oh,
yeah, that would just be hilarious.
I mean, if you're trolling, then fair. But like the fucking Independence Day aliens, really? I mean, it's fun, but come on, Independence Day, really?
And it's like it's 2025. Dickheads like us will pick this apart on the internet. If you put it in your trailer, and then you're sort of creating all these kind of.
I make my fucking beer money from these videos, right? So every time you put one of those in, we're going to talk about it for the clicks. Cynical monsters sat here in my Primark flower shirt because it was a bit sunny today. Oh, fucking clicks for my... Oh, Independence Day's phallus, isn't it? It's a scrotum of fucking Johnny Five. Oh, what does it mean for the law? Someone edit the wiki. Anyway, go see Predator Badlands in theatres, probably.
This is what happens when people spin the... Anyway, like you said, it's just this is what happens when you read far too much into something.
Well, because you were talking about, the Alien Romulus version of these things.